All right. I see a red light. I'm hearing music. And I'm seeing my bro. Which means we are recording. Welcome to Season 1, Episode 31 of the GAJ Podcast. We are your hosts. My name is Gerard, and I am joined by my baby bro, Alex.
Heyo.
Out in the Cali coast. We are your hosts. If you've ever been with us before, by the way, thanks for returning. You will notice that a key member of the crew is still not with us. And that's because the Cybertrucks still have JR. We are currently in intense strategic negotiations to garner his release. But as of right now, we have not reached a complete agreement for that outcome. But we'll keep working on it. If you have any suggestions or would like to help, drop a comment or shoot us an email at gagepodcast@gmail.com. If you are new to us, thanks for joining us. We'd love it if you would consider dropping a comment, hitting the like button if you like what we're doing, and maybe even subscribing so that we have a little bit better of an algorithm to go off of on the YouTubes. Also, if you do decide to subscribe, drop a comment with the wavy emoji just so we can see that you're with us and we can welcome you aboard. Speaking of subscribers, let's check out our subscriber watch. Let's see, channel analytics on YouTube. We are, as of the last 3 or 4 weeks, so we're still at 12 subscribers. The views are a little bit down, but our watch time is up, so that's kind of cool. So whoever's watching us, maybe we're doing something good and they're actually enjoying what they're watching and staying a little bit longer. So if that's you, we appreciate you. Going over to the Spotify's. We're getting some plays here and there. YouTube's a little bit easier to find us on, and anybody that's listening on podcasts is probably in their car. So we hope you are driving safe. We hope you keep listening to us, and if you have any passengers in your car, we hope maybe they'll enjoy us also, and we'll consider subscribing. Anyway, that's about it for our Teeny Bopper Watch. And again, if you are a new subscriber, one of the things we like to do on this show is something we call the Ashley Cameo Challenge. Those of you that have been with us before know that Ashley is my lovely fiance, and she and I have very different work schedules. So from time to time, she gets home from work and likes to pop in and say hi to my baby bro, my bro from another Mo, JR, and you out there in podcast land. If you do see her, we call it the challenge because if you see her, we'd love for you to comment "Hi Ashley" in the comments. If you wouldn't mind putting a timestamp on there too. Hopefully this becomes kind of a fun game and a little race to see who can get in there first, and we'll shout you out on the next show. All right, moving on to our first regular segment of the GAJ Podcast. What's for dinner? Alex, what did you have for dinner?
Nothing fancy for me. I just had a turkey and cheese sandwich, and I have this habit now of just dipping it in marinara sauce. Really, any sandwich I make gets dipped in marinara sauce now. That includes my chicken nugget sandwiches. Oh, except I don't dip.
I dig the chicken nugget sandwich in marinara, but what was it? Turkey and cheese?
Yeah. And I was lazy today. I didn't even do a grilled cheese style. It was cold, and then I warmed up the marinara sauce in the microwave.
Oh, okay. You at least warmed up the marinara sauce. Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say that's kind of weird, but
I do not dip my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in marinara, though. That's I draw the line somewhere.
I would agree with that move. Oh man, my dinner was not healthy. I just got home from the office about an hour ago. before this recording. For those of you that don't know, we typically release on Thursdays, but we actually record on Tuesday nights for Alex, it's 8 o'clock, but for me, it's 10 o'clock. So having gotten home just about an hour ago means I got home about pretty close to 9 o'clock. So it was a long day. I had dinner at the office. Dinner consisted of a slice of pizza from Quick Trip, which is, I don't know if you have Quick Trip out in the West Coast, but
Nope.
Out here in the Mid Coast, Quick Trip is pretty widespread, pretty popular all over the place. But I had a piece of pizza. Their pizza's pretty good. And I had a couple of taquitos. I went with a steak and cheese and a chicken and cheese taquito. And then if you're going to get taquitos off the rollers, you got to get a little bit of nacho cheese to dip them in. So that's why I had with a Coca-Cola. Pretty not healthy. And then I got home, had a banana to at least have something a little bit healthy, and currently enjoying one of these. I don't know if you can see this. It's a Waterloo. I don't remember where we got them. It's like flavored water.
Yeah.
Sparkling water. Actually get some. They're 0 calorie. They're pretty good. It's flavored sparkling water. This one is blackberry lemonade. This show is not brought to you by Waterloo. I just happen to enjoy Waterloo. So Waterloo, if you're out there and you're watching, we don't have any sponsors. Just saying. But I'd love to drink your tasty beverage on every show. So cheers to that. But yeah, not a very healthy dinner. I at least was done with my caloric intake by just about 10 o'clock tonight, so I'm kind of sticking with my 14-10 fasting schedule. Not the most impressive thing, but it is what it is. All right, where are we at here? Moving on to out and about. I had a pretty busy last week. I got back out on the softball field, and by got back out there, I gimped my way out there. If you guys were with us last week, you know that I injured myself a couple of weeks ago playing softball. Old man stuff for sure. Like, I stretched out, warmed up and everything, and still somehow found a way to pop a quadricep in my leg, and couldn't walk for a couple of days. Still can't run. I tried. It's not very comfortable. It's a weird, uncomfortable looking hobble when I try to do it, but I can hit the ball and I can play catcher. So there we go. But yeah, that was Wednesday and Friday. Got my truck serviced on Saturday. Man, I'm glad I don't have a car payment, but I feel like maintaining just the maintenance and service on my truck makes up for that absence of a car payment. I don't know about your car, but I spent a pretty good chunk of change on Saturday.
You also drive it through rough terrain.
Yeah, so that's fair. So, and we'll actually get into that a little bit later, but yeah, I like to drive my vehicle in different places that aren't necessarily paved. Hence my tag today. Where we're going, we don't need roads, and that's something I'm actually going to get into a little bit later. Dude, we looked at a house on Sunday. We looked at a house. What's that?
Did you go inside it or just look at it?
No, we toured it. We went in and looked at it. It's a rental. Unfortunately, it's not like a rent-to-own situation, so we're actually going to go look at another one where it's a rental, but there's going to be an option to purchase and finance with the current owner, which will be nice because we might be able to beat some of the fees that come along with going with a real estate agent. But yeah, we really like the house though, the rental. The one where we can purchase, we're gonna look at it next week. It's a little bit cookie cutter, to be honest. But it's a nice house. It's updated. They're still actually doing some renovations on it, so it'll be worth looking at, and especially if it's something we can buy, live in for 5-10 years, and maybe rent out later when we decide we want to upgrade our home. But man, this rental is pretty cool. It's got good bones. It's an interesting layout. It's got a cool yard, and I don't know. I think Ashley's already on board. She already wants to go for it. I'm kind of the same way because I really do like it, and we can always buy something later and maybe just rent what we live in, and then if we buy something, maybe that can be like an investment property or rental property. But yeah, pretty busy weekend. Went to a pumpkin patch for one of Ashley's friends' kids' birthdays. I ate all the food, and then went to my buddy's farm and watched a bunch of their friends riding horses. They have a horse arena, and they were doing some weird rodeo shit. So, busy week. How about you, dude? How was your last week?
I'm still recovering from an Achilles injury, so
Ooh,
I can walk.
That's not good either.
I'm walking a lot. I'm not running or jump roping. I'm not doing squats when I lift, but I'm doing remaining deadlifts though, which is not a lot of weight anyway, so it's fine. But
I mean, yeah, you still have to be careful. But yeah, you're not. It's kind of weird. You are stretching it, but you're engaging your hamstrings more than.
I'm doing air squats, so just body weight squats.
Yeah,
I don't know when I'll go back to adding weights to it. I'll probably do it slow. I'll do low weight, and then I'll gradually increase and get back to what I was doing.
Yeah.
But I wasn't squatting a whole lot, anyways. Before when I was healthy, because I just don't want to squat a whole lot because of my knees. I'm worried about my knees. I'm worried about my back. But
yeah,
otherwise, well, kind of had an air show over the weekend. I was supposed to go Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh, on Newport Beach?
It's more in Huntington, but they fly around Newport also because I'm pretty close to the border. Friday weather was okay. I went for a walk near the park here, and you can see a lot of the planes. So I was taking some video of it. Kind of funny. Saturday and Sunday. I'm just now catching up on some of this news, but Saturday and Sunday it was cold and cloudy and foggy the entire day, both days. So I didn't go out to look at anything, but I was expecting to hear a bunch of fighter jets coming around like I did on Friday and also the previous week because they were doing test runs. But I think I'm now on next door trying to see what happened. I think they said it was canceled and people are getting sued. But
I was just saying, I bet it got canceled because if you can't see anything anyway, what's the point?
I think
Plus, it's dangerous for the pilots.
I heard a couple of jet fighters on Sunday, like very few, and maybe a little bit on Saturday. But I think they're mad because they had to cancel it or it was greatly reduced. But that's out of everyone's control. It's
yeah. I think
despite what some politicians say, you cannot control the weather.
Yeah, that's dumb. You're gonna sue, like, okay, maybe get a rain check. Maybe they should have canceled and just pushed it to another weekend, but.
Yeah, they're not gonna be able to do that. It takes
come on,
a lot of
guys,
a lot of scheduling. But I saw what I got to see on Friday when I was out at the park, and usually I'm not really big at the air shows, but when those things are flying around, you're like, holy shit!
Yeah, totally. I love that stuff.
And then I see I live not too far from the airport in Orange County, so I see like a regular commercial. Plane fly out, and I'm like, you're so fucking slow. You're just a sitting duck, dude. When you see these fighter jets going, they're going so fast. You hear them because they're so loud. You're like, cool. You're just looking around. You're looking around. And there are actually a good amount of people at the park.
If you're looking up because you hear it, like it's already past you.
Yeah. But there are a good amount of people at the park, and then there are also people coming out of their apartments out into their decks and looking around. But everyone's just looking at the sky, trying to find it, trying to see if it's cloudy.
But if it was cloudy, that sucks.
Yeah, so Friday was okay. It was cloudy, but not as bad as Saturday and Sunday. Was cloudy, it was misty, it was foggy, it was cold, which I like. I like when it's cold here after you go through a heat wave.
Yeah.
That's when I go outside. I'm like, I'm going for a walk, and I'm enjoying this chilly weather.
You know what, though? That's a good time to stay inside and watch a little football.
Yeah, I did sacrifice some of the morning games because I had to run some errands. I think in between some games, that's when I went for a walk. But yeah, otherwise I spent a lot of time watching football. I'm also watching. Oh God, I'm still watching the Penguins. That's the 3rd episode. God, that show's so good.
I think Ashley started watching that, so I'm.
It's been. I think the best description I heard is that it's a cross between The Sopranos and Breaking Bad, and it's in a Batman universe. It's just you don't see Batman really. It's all because the characters are good, the writing's good, the actors are good. It's what's his name? Who's the Irish guy? Goddamn, he's a really good actor. Oh, Colin Farrell. Yeah, and he's in this.
No kidding.
Under loads of makeup, he's in a fat suit, and she's fantastic. Well, you can watch the Batman and see how good he is there. And then imagine a show that's just dedicated to his character.
He's the Penguin.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit, that's cool.
Hard to see him, but then once you see him, you're like, oh, it is him.
Huh. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Just what a good actor he is, and what good direction that
the
movie and a TV show have.
Good stuff.
Something that something I've been kind of holding back on because I was waiting for JR to get back, but it's actually trending pretty hard on X Twitter right now. Is that the Irvine Police Department bought a Cybertruck?
Oh no!
The reason why it's trending right now is because they released a hype video on it, and it is so fucking lame. These guys are so dumb.
Are people like, why did you waste our tax dollars on that?
I think it's just something that they want to show kids and be like, look at us, we're so advanced. And people are like, dude, we don't like seeing those things on the road.
I want to go up to one and be like, dude, rev the engine. Oh, wait.
I mean, it looks better than a regular Cybertruck because it's got like police department on it or dare to keep kids off drugs and some other symbols, and it has the police lights on it. So it has a little bit of dimension to it.
It looks like origami with like colored construction paper versus just a plain white piece of paper.
And if you put like stamps on it. Irvine Police Department. Dare to keep kids off drugs.
I didn't even know dare was still a thing, to be honest. Good for them. I think that's great.
According to Irvine Police Department Cybertruck, it's a thing.
Sounds like it. Yeah, I guess it is a thing. So, speaking of things, we're going to go roll into breaking to us news. I'm going to bring it back to a little bit of what's for dinner. What did you have for dinner on Friday?
I don't know. Something with Captain Morgan?
Fair. Did you know Friday, which was October 4th, it's more the date than the day, was National Taco Day?
I live in Southern California. Every day is National Taco Day.
That's fair.
Or Burrito Day.
So, funny enough, it came up on my calendar. I was like, where did National Taco Day come from? And apparently, National Taco Day started in 2009 by Del Taco. Del Taco is who declared October 4th to be National Taco Day.
It seems like it didn't pick up. It wasn't really widespread. It didn't have widespread adoption.
Ironically, I had tacos on Friday. It was Taco Bell, so
I mean, Tuesdays are usually designated as the weekly taco day. Official
Tuesday Taco Tuesday.
Yep.
But yeah, well, the 4th is National Taco Day. But yeah, I guess you're right. Tuesday is usually like kind of National Taco Day every week. But yeah, where was I reading it? 09, after some buzz, websites. Del Taco did a press release to proclaim it. And then I thought somewhere in Texas. Oh, the next year, a Texas-based restaurant called Taco Cabana did the same. And henceforth, the National Taco Day was born. So yeah, National Taco Day, October 4th. Mark it on your calendars for next week. or for next year. Maybe just have tacos on Tuesday next week. But yeah. In other news, well, gotta talk about it a little bit. The hurricane season is here, right? We just got done with Helene, and man, it was a pretty quick turnaround for those of you on the southeast and east coast, Gulf Coast. You're not even done cleaning up after Helene, and you've got Hurricane Milton coming in. So apparently, what I heard a little bit on the news going into the office today, Hurricane Helene was like a Category 5. Milton is only a Category 3, but the storm surge from Milton, I guess the potential for damage is going to be just as high, if not higher, with Milton because of the storm surge or something with it. So everybody's like in a mad dash to evacuate like Florida, especially like Tampa. So
you named it Milton. That's such a nerdy name. I feel like it's the type of hurricane you want to give a wedgie to.
Well, it's a Revenge of the Nerds hurricane.
It's gonna have a Carrie moment though, Stephen King's Carrie, where people picked on it too much, and now it's gonna fuck everyone up.
Yeah, probably. We do have some friends and family down there in Florida, so to all of you, hope you're staying safe, and hopefully, one, I hope you guys evacuate and get to safety. Two, I hope you are able to return to your homes intact once it's safe to do so. So, and all of you out there in Florida, hope you're all making good choices and doing what's best to keep your family safe. All right.
I just opened up Facebook and I have a friend from like elementary school who lives in Florida. He just posted that they decided to pack up and vacate. He lives I'm looking at north of Fort Lauderdale, south of Pompano Beach, kind of in between. I'm not familiar with the layout of Florida. It looks too much.
I don't know
wiener.
I don't remember where Pompano Beach is either, to be honest. I know where Tampa is.
Pompano Beach is north of Fort Lauderdale. And according to this Facebook post with a map, he's like right in between Fort Lauderdale and Pompano Beach.
Pompano Beach,
whatever.
Sounded like an Asian saying it for the first time.
Pompano. Pompano with rice.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by how many people like just stayed there for Helene. Maybe they had enough and was with such a quick turnaround. They're like, all right, we should probably get out of the way of this one.
I think I remember the same guy. I think I remember his post from last week where he said I just went over them and didn't really do much. But this one looks like it's got him moving.
Yeah, we have a friend that just moved to the Carolinas a few months ago, and they were without power for like 4 or 5 days. So luckily they had generators and were able to kind of keep life moving, and didn't see, if being without electricity for a few days is the worst that happened to you, like, that's great. I'm glad your home didn't get destroyed. So, and I'm glad y'all are safe. So, yeah, that's the hurricane stuff. In other news, Chris Christopherson passed away this past Saturday.
I thought it was a couple weeks ago already.
Oh, was it? Oh, it was. I was reading a follow-up article because I, quite frankly, I didn't actually know who he was.
He's also an actor. He played Whistler in the Blade movies from the 90s.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I was just saying I recognize his face, but I didn't know where from.
That's the only thing I know him from.
Yeah, I was saying I thought he was an actor, but apparently he wrote a lot of songs for a lot of different people, and just like a wide array of people. I guess I'll just bring this up. Some of his more popular songs are "Me and Bobby McGee," that was performed by Janis Joplin. "Sunday Morning Coming Down" by Johnny Cash. I don't know those songs. I've heard of them before, but I don't actually know the songs. But I was kind of perusing through this article and seeing like, I'm going to go down to the bottom here because so you heard Johnny Cash, you heard Janis Joplin. He also wrote for like Gladys Knight and the Pips, Al Green, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings. Like that, this is a wide range of like musical talent, you know, quite frankly, very different genres if you really think about it. So
yeah, I don't even know those songs. Those are from before my time.
Yeah, they're all older songs, but I mean, I've heard of these people, and I've heard them sing before, and yeah, just very wide range of performers that sang his songs. So, you know, I'm not any sort of like musical guru or anything like that, but you know, dude must have been a talented writer because I mean, if you're writing that many hits for that wide of a range of singers, like that's kind of cool. So good for you, and may you rest in peace. May you rest in peace there, Chris Christopherson.
The Whistler.
What was that from?
Blade.
Yeah, I do remember that character now. Look at his face. Okay. What else? What's next? Dude, I know you and I are, you know, Chicago sports fans and Ohio State fans. Ohio State kicked ass this week. The Bears won. Kudos. The Cubs are out of the playoffs. But I got to tell you, KC Sports is killing it right now here in October. The Royals and the Chiefs were playing last night, and it was kind of cool because Hulu TV had the Chiefs. They do like the multi-view, and they did the Royals game and the Chiefs game, so that was kind of cool. I got to go back and forth a little bit. Ashley didn't like it so much, so we ended up just staying on the Chiefs game. But the Royals beat the Yankees, and the series comes here to Kansas City tomorrow night. So last night, for those of you that are watching, because we released on Thursday, last night the Royals play the Yankees. Since we record on Tuesday, I just don't know who won. But they did win on Monday night, as did the Chiefs. So KC was a pretty happy town on this Tuesday that we record on because both of the teams won. And they were both pretty entertaining games from what I understand. So, yeah, that is KC Sports.
Should I give my LA sports update? The Dodgers are losing to the Padres, and I don't give a fuck.
You know what, though?
But USC lost to Minnesota, so hey.
I wouldn't mind seeing Shohei win the series. Get in a ring.
I don't like the Dodgers.
I'm not gonna lie. I like Shohei Ohtani.
I still don't think he
full on the wagon.
I think he was made from AI.
He is a freak of nature.
Completely computer generated. Even if you see it in person, I'm convinced that there's just a hologram there.
Yeah, you poke him and like it digitizes.
I knew it.
Hey, you know what? Being Asian, like seeing an Asian like just killing the game. I mean, he's not Filipino, but hey, he's Asian. I'm Asian. You're Asian. Why not root for the Asian? So.
I don't know what people in the South are saying. Like, I can't say that's racist. Got people in Alabama now there making comments that I won't say.
Yeah, we are a non-polarizing podcast. Let's not forget that.
I was thinking about last week when Georgia Bulldogs were playing Alabama down in Tuscaloosa, and Donald Trump showed up. I was like, you know what? If you're looking for people who are eating cats and dogs, you're in the right part of the country. Go around Alabama. You're probably gonna see them. Like, you want cat? You want dog? You want possum? There you go.
Speaking of Alabama, how about that upset? I can't believe I didn't make a banner for it, but upset city this weekend, bro.
Biggest upsets in
college football was crazy,
which is kind of cool because glad it was a Vandy home game at Vandy because they played the after they won up on the big screen. They played a clip of Nick Saban saying everywhere in the SEC is difficult to play except Vanderbilt.
That's all. Oh, I did see that clip.
Like, ooh.
Yeah.
They can live on being Vanderbilt. They can live off that for like 10, 20 years.
Yeah, who all went up?
Bama
went down. Tennessee went down.
I think Miami should have gone down, but there's some bullshit.
Dude, that was
bullshit.
Yeah, they got
going. That's classical targeting. That I don't know how they
launched. I don't know how.
That's when you start to think. Maybe
that's a first down. Like, forget that the kids would have probably been ejected. That was a first down instead of punting.
Yeah, they could have ran out the clock if he got that. But dude, that's when you start to think that there's a little corruption, and you think that the refs were. Or the people reviewing the film were told, this team needs to win. Like, okay.
I don't mind when the refs are letting the teams play, but that was the very definition of targeting. He led with the crown of his head.
He projected
when he made contact. He actually launched up into the air. Like, I don't know how that kid wasn't seeing stars or like cloudy vision. Like, I can't believe he got up.
I did. He's just a tough kid.
Did, yeah.
But even Brock Osweiler is one of the announcers who is not very liked as an announcer. When I was checking on Twitter, people were just saying, like, I don't like Brock Osweiler, but he was 100% correct, and that was targeting.
Yeah. That was the absolute classic definition of targeting. It was dumb. Oh, Michigan lost. That was cool.
Heck yeah. Washington. I want to say it's a revenge game.
They're down to 24. If they lose again, they're not even ranked.
Yeah. And actually, Vegas actually favored Washington to win that game.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. So that's one of those.
They looked real good.
I said, no way in hell Washington's winning that game. But Vegas knows some shit.
Well, interesting how Michigan looks this year that they are no longer able to cheat.
That's always going to be on them. Look what happened when you didn't have a cheating operation.
Weird how much that changes things. Look, I get it. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Well, if you get caught, you're definitely cheating. So
if you get caught, you vacate wins.
Yeah. And maybe like
a
national championship. But Miami got away with one.
I really wanted that one. I really wanted that one for Cal.
That would have been nuts. Oh. That would have been nuts. But Texas did what they had to do. Ohio State did what they had to do.
Texas was on a bye week.
What's that?
Texas had a bye week.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. So they did what they had to do. They would just sit on the couch.
So, yeah. Well, they did what they had to do. Ohio State and Oregon this week, though. Whoo, baby.
I think that's an afternoon game.
2 versus 3?
A night game for the rest of the country.
Man, I'm going to have to figure that out because I'm actually going to be some semi-off grid.
That probably qualifies as the game of the year, considering Georgia and Alabama doesn't look so great anymore.
Yeah. Well, who did Georgia lose to?
No one. Oh, Alabama. Duh.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's when they were getting killed, and then they almost had a comeback.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Dude, I think I said this last week. Football Saturdays and football Sundays are the best time to be on Twitter because people just clown the teams. And when it was halftime at the Georgia-Alabama game, when it was like 38-7, I don't know what it was. It was clear Georgia was clearly getting killed. One of the memes I was putting up was saying, Alabama right now. It just shows Trump saying they're eating the dogs. And it was such a common pose. Everyone's like, I know what's funny. I'll put this clip of Trump saying they're eating the dogs and say that's Bama.
But yeah, man, check this out though. Texas, Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State. So 3 of the top 4 are Big Ten teams.
Penn State's out here this week. They're playing USC.
No shit, nice.
I'm sorry, unranked USC.
Oh yeah, I forgot they lost too. Woo, baby!
I love when USC loses.
Dude,
Indiana. I love it better when they're unranked.
Indiana football is 6-0. Look, they're in a power conference, but they are not good in said power conference. In football, I mean. I didn't realize they were that strong of a team, to be honest. 6-0, Indiana.
They're usually not a strong team.
Yeah. I feel like, man, I mean, maybe they have a weak schedule or something, but they're only at 18. They're 6-0, and they're only ranked 18th. They're ranked behind Boise State and Utah and BYU. Well, BYU's undefeated also.
Yeah, but I think people are just waiting for them to face an opponent that's going to absolutely kill them.
BYU?
And it's not going to be a highly ranked opponent either.
Well, that's why, like, how do they even get to 14 to begin with? Especially somebody in a power conference that's undefeated in Indiana. Not just undefeated, they're 6-0, so they've actually played one more game than most of these teams.
I'm looking at their schedule. They beat FIU. I don't know if that's Florida International.
Western Illinois.
They killed Western Illinois 77-3.
Jesus. Well, hey, you know what though? In college football, the style points count. You got to go for the jugular all the time.
Ransack UCLA. So that's I don't know if I say it's a quality win, but probably more quality than other schools. Beat Charlotte, to beat Maryland.
Maryland's a conference team. Northwestern's a conference team.
Bad win. Northwestern is Northwestern.
Yeah, but they're still in conference, you know?
And they have a bye week this week, so it's going to be a change.
Well, they are due for one because they played one more game than everybody else. But their next game, well, not Nebraska, but Washington's after that. So, but yeah. Man, yeah, it was an interesting Saturday, just hearing about all the upsets.
Saturday was
I couldn't switch channels fast enough to try and figure out which game I was going to watch because they were all so close.
Oh, I had multiple TVs going on.
Did you feed her?
No, I didn't.
Did you take her out when you got home?
Mm-hmm. Hang on.
Does Johnny even do this anymore?
Not lately, but
Cybertrucks won't let Johnny go.
They kidnapped him.
Yeah, we're negotiating his release by the Cybertrucks.
Did you tell Alex about the raccoons getting into Cybertrucks?
No.
So I read this article that they've had a problem with raccoons trying to break into the back of the Cybertrucks, and they're trying to figure out why. And they figured out it's because they look like dumpsters. And
that's awesome.
So raccoons have been trying to, see right there, that's it, claw into the beds of the Cybertrucks. Look how much it
does look like a dumpster.
They got it good. Like, they didn't actually get them open, any of them that I read, but look at all the little raccoon footprints on the top of it. But yeah, that's happened in several places.
Oh, damn.
And the only reason they can think of is because they look like dumpsters. And that's why the raccoons are trying to break into them.
They don't even look as cool as dump trucks.
So yeah, a little fun fact for you right there. If you live out in the wilderness, watch out for raccoons in your Cybertruck.
Who takes a Cybertruck into the wilderness?
Beat up.
Well, I mean, it looks like they're camping there, like, or
We got a
off-roading.
bike there. Yeah, camping.
Yeah,
Like
you see that
biker.
little yellow car there? That probably towed the Cybertruck back to the road.
Can you hear him?
No.
He said that little yellow car in the back probably had to tow it out.
I think that's a Prius
Yeah, exactly.
So good, so good.
or a Honda. I can't remember. Tiny little Honda
Smart car.
Honda Fit? Is that what it is?
Fit, maybe.
Is
Yeah,
that
maybe
what it
that's what it is.
Anyways, that was my contribution to the show.
Good
So,
story.
thank you. Story for the day there. All right.
That's a good one.
Well, it was good talking to you, Alex.
All right, good seeing you, Ash.
And everybody
See
out
ya.
there.
And to the universe. Good seeing you. If you like what you're listening to, give them a thumbs up. Put a comment in this comment section. That's
And
what you usually
subscribe.
and subscribe. Please subscribe. We're trying to make money off this. We got a wedding to pay for.
Long way from that, so, but
Love you.
how you do? All right. So that was a nice little contribution. The raccoons thinking Cybertrucks are dumpsters. That's pretty awesome. And by the way, that was my lovely fiance Ashley. If you were paying attention to the beginning of the show, you know that we like to play a game called the Ashley Cameo Challenge. So there you go. Man, what else? I think the only thing other thing I have is it's Rito week. It's Rito week. If you like overlanding like I do, it's a little bit more of an extreme version of car camping. That's the way I see it. It's kind of where car camping meets like off-roading, overlanding. But it's Rito week, and like if you're into that scene,
How extreme is
you
it?
know about this.
Does it include a lot of Mountain Dew?
Some of those guys, yeah, for sure. Oh, by the way, Rito stands for Rendezvous in the Ozarks. It's a big overlanding rally in the middle of the Ozark National Forest at Mulberry Mountain. So kind of a campground. We all gather there. It becomes kind of a base camp, and then everybody goes in with their own groups, and we'll go wheeling through the forest and through the rivers and creeks and all that. It's a really good time if you're into that thing. It's one of my favorite trips of the year, so I'll be doing that this weekend. And if you're interested in seeing more, I'm actually probably not going to wheel as much, so I can get I'm gonna ride along with my buddies and get the drone up in the air. So pay attention to my other channel. It is called Hey Dad, Watch This on YouTube. And then I'll also be posting some stuff on Instagram. My Instagram page is at GA Wandering. So yeah, check it out. It's a fun time. There's prizes, there's raffles, there's bands, cool shit to look at, like almost like a trade show. And then because it's a kind of a centralized thing where you're in a little bit more of a campground, it's interesting to see everybody's setups. Mine's pretty basic because I'm actually I'm one of the few people you'll see there on a stock suspension. I don't have a rooftop tent. I don't even ground tent it, actually. Sometimes I do, but because Ashley and I have such different schedules, usually I'm by myself, so I actually have my truck set up for me to just sleep in the back of it. So I just unload a couple of bins with supplies and whatnot in it, and then roll my sleeping bag out in the back of my Xterra, and that's my shelter. Works out pretty well. There's just enough room for me to sit up and have a little table and like have my computer out, like watch, if I download a Netflix movie, I can watch that or just be out of the weather. And then I have an awning that straps to the tent or to the top of the truck so I can be outside and out of the rain. But yeah, if you're in that sort of thing, you should check out Rendezvous in the Ozarks. If you search it on YouTube, you'll find all kinds of stuff, and especially over the next couple weeks, you'll see a bunch of stuff from this year because there's a bunch of YouTubers that do show up at the rally. So I'm sure they will be releasing videos over the next few weeks, including myself. I'm not as established as they are, but there's some good ones out there. So I'll actually drop a link to this site in the comments. In the description. And yeah, do a search. I'm sure there might even have some of the YouTubers on here. But anyway, yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing this weekend. What are you doing this weekend, dude?
Ohio State plays Oregon.
Ohio State plays Oregon. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out.
The Bears play in London, so that's a really early game.
Oh, shoot. They do. Well, you know what, though? That means I'll have a chance to watch it before I start heading back up here to KC. Because Mulberry Mountain, that's in the middle of Arkansas. So it's probably like a 5-hour drive. But if I watch the game first, and it'll be early enough that I might just be up anyway, and not everybody else will be up yet, so I'll be able to make some coffee, make a little breakfast.
8:30 your time. 8:30 a.m. your time.
A.m. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be packing up time anyway, so I'll just keep the computer out on the table. And luckily, Mulberry Mountain, it's a pretty open area, so usually I can get enough cell phone service to turn on my hotspot and do a little bit of streaming, as long as I close everything else out.
Yeah, I'm looking at ESPN now. It's 8:30 your time.
Okay.
She's after
on what channel is it on?
NFL Network.
Well, at least I have an NFL Network, so that's cool. But yeah, if you're into the adventuring thing, the van life stuff, the overlanding stuff, off-roading stuff, just basic camping stuff, this is a pretty cool event to attend. You'll see all kinds of shit, and it gets pretty interesting.
Let me know if you when you're there, if you see a Cybertruck and how many people laugh at it.
Yeah,
no, you probably can't count that high. It's too many.
We will all laugh at it. The one thing I saw, this was 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. This dude, I can't remember the name of the company, but he had like an electric motorcycle. That was pretty cool. Oh, I wish I could remember the brand. I even bought stock in them for a while, but then I think they just cashed me out because I don't have the stock anymore. I just had the funds. But it was pretty dope. The thing is, it's still, I don't know, probably $20,000 for it, but it was a cool little ride. Like, it'd be fun to have and cruise around the city, or have a base camp. Especially with Ashley, when Ashley comes with me, we don't do the overlanding thing where we are touring through a large area and camping in a different spot every night. We'll base camp it. It'd be cool to have that little bike to cruise around the trails. But yeah, you should come with sometime. It's a good time.
Yeah, I'm not an outdoors person. I'm not a camping person.
I know.
And that amount of rednecks, I'm uncomfortable.
It's not too bad. I get what you're saying, but it's not too bad. I actually had to, the way I got into it, because I always wanted to do it, but I'm not gonna lie, I had a little apprehension about being out there and then trying it by myself and then running into like a whole group of rednecks that didn't necessarily like people that look like me. So
maybe waving the Confederate flag.
I got with groups first. I went out with groups first, and I'll go out by myself every once in a while. It's actually kind of fun, but it's in areas that I know a little bit better, and I know a lot of people that wheel there. So if anybody comes by, it tends to be somebody that I've seen before or know someone that I know. So it's not as intimidating anymore. But the Ozark National Forest, there's some pretty good trails. If you like the wheeling, you should check out that Ozark National Forest. It's pretty cool. It's not Colorado, but as far as like technical trails, there's plenty of very technical stuff in the Ozarks. They're just not at 10,000 feet, but it is a good time. And I know you're into the toys. This is my toy show. I get to see all kinds of cool toys for things I like to do. So it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. We get into the cooking a little bit, camp cooking. I actually made chicken adobo one year.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that wasn't at Rendezvous. That was at just a different camp out. But we got stuff and made like homemade pizzas one year. My buddy made homemade cookie dough, and we were baking cookies out in the forest. So we have a good time with it.
Make them on fire, or did someone bring like a oven?
We have camp stoves. We have grilled stuff on over the fire too. I have it's called a pop-up fire pit. So when you're in areas, especially if there's like fire bans, sometimes the fireman, depending on the level of the fireman, you can't necessarily have a campfire like in a rock circle on the ground. But if you have like a contained unit, like a pop-up fire pit, so it's off the ground and in its own contained thing, kind of like a solo pit. I can't remember what they call it, but sometimes you can have those fires. And I have like a grate that goes over so we can grill burgers or steaks or whatever. So it's kind of cool. It's not, it sounds luxurious because we're not out there playing like Survivor Man. We like being comfortable, but we still like getting out to places that most people aren't going to get to. So that's kind of the way I describe it. But I know you're not into camping, so.
Not my thing.
But we do have a holiday coming up. Halloween. I guess we do that holiday too. But for those of you out there in podcast land that follow us, we love that you follow us, and we'd love to get some input from you. With Thanksgiving coming up, and Alex and I being blood relatives from the same parents, there's a good chance we may be in the same location for a weekend. And I'd love to get your feedback, because my thought is, what if we, for Thanksgiving week, record on a different day? That way we can record from the same state. JR would still probably be remote, but that's okay. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. If you'd like to see that and have us maybe delay a recording for 1 week so we can record together, let us know what you think about that. If you want us to do it, maybe we will.
We could also have me and JR in the same room.
That's true, yeah.
If we live in the same county.
Maybe we should do that more often, too.
He drives by my apartment a good amount of times when he's out there driving, I guarantee.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys don't get together more. You should.
And I'm busy, too.
He's driving, yeah.
And I might just tell him, like, if you're just, I'm home on weekends, so if you're bored, if you need a break, just drop by my place. I might be having a drink or something. I'll be watching football.
That'd be cool.
Sure. Except maybe Friday. There's no football.
We talked about.
You know what? There is football on Fridays. Colleges overstepping having Friday football games and kind of taken away from the high school.
The high schools?
Yep.
That's messed up. The NFL does it too. Monday, now they have Thursday also.
Yep.
And I think at some point in the season, they start having Saturday games too, don't they?
They
wrong about that?
They figure it out between what's going on with college. And they don't want the overlap. Yeah, this Friday, there are games, but it's Utah is the only ranked team. Last Friday it was Oregon that played on Friday night, so That was a must-watch game. This Friday, maybe I'll watch it.
Who's playing this Friday?
Utah is the most notable one. They're playing Arizona State. UNLV is playing Utah State, and Northwestern's playing Maryland.
Okay. Not bad. I don't know. In the end, most of my games are still on Saturday as far as college.
Yeah, I think they shouldn't do on Fridays. I think they should leave that for high school.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's where your recruits come from, quite frankly.
Yeah, go watch high school football. Don't put important games on Friday nights. Because you got to scout out players for recruiting.
True. Maybe it's a conspiracy theory by the big programs because they're the only ones that have the money to have recruiters out on the road, even if they're playing. And then the small schools don't even have a chance at recruiting because they've got to play on Thursday night also sometimes. That'd be kind of.
I think might be more related to the TV company that's broadcasting it, the network company.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, it's a money grab.
Which is all of them: Fox, CBS, and ESPN.
It's definitely a money grab. I agree with that. Anyway, if you heard in the background, that was the alarm. That was my timer going off, meaning it is time for us to start getting into our closing thoughts. But before we do that, I just want to remind you again, if you're here and you like what we're doing, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love for you to like the episode, drop a comment in the comments. And if you feel like coming back, we'd love for you to subscribe and even hit the notification bell so you know, one, when new episodes come out, and two, you can make fun of me when I mess up and don't release on the right date, which is usually on a Thursday morning. But yeah, we'd love to hear from you. If you are a little more private but would love to share ideas with us, you can also email us at gagepodcast.com. That can be anything from ideas for stuff for us to do that you want to hear about, topics you want us to cover, fun news articles that you'd love for us to read and comment on. I'd love to get into more like positive type news stories or even funny news stories that, aren't too offensive to anybody. I think it'd be kind of fun to share a laugh with people, share a laugh, not laugh at people, but so the positive stuff, the stuff that where it's people laughing at themselves, bring it on. I'd love to share them, and maybe we'll be able to share some of our own stories along the way. So, yeah, comment, like, subscribe, or email us. All right, buddy. Closing thoughts. What you got?
With all this talk of voting going on, remember to vote no on police department Cybertrucks. We need to defund the police Cybertrucks. Not too far.
Defund the Cybertrucks. Defund the Cybertrucks. Also, can we have a separate bill to just vote to have all of them deported? Because I would vote for that.
Defund, deport, dismantle, give them to the raccoons, whatever.
I'd pay extra tax money for a wall to just completely close off Cybertrucklandia.
Maybe the wall will be made out of Cybertrucks. Stack them on top of each other. Or crush them,
yeah,
and then stack them on top of each other.
Take their wheels away.
Yeah.
By the way, we're just kidding, folks. We're just kidding.
No, I want to crush the Cybertrucks.
I do too. Maybe I'm not kidding.
Cubes and then stack them.
I bet they would make great building blocks. Like put two together and then you turn one over because it's a triangle and it just fits right in, and then
yeah, make art out of it.
It's like Legos. Or fucking Jenga blocks. Like, have you ever played with Jenga blocks that wasn't Jenga? You just start building shit with it. Or Lincoln Logs. Do you remember Lincoln Logs back in the day? Anyway, if you are in the way of the hurricane, Please be safe. Use good judgment. If you should get out of the way, I encourage you to do so. And if you are not in the way, keep those people in your thoughts. Treat each other well. Let's not be too serious. Let's not be too sensitive. You know, water under the bridge. If things are feeling like they're poking at you a little bit, maybe let it roll off your back and move on. The more you do that, the more it becomes just another comment. What else you got, Alex? Anything else?
Nope. Let's wrap it up.
Wrapping it up. Guys, thanks again for joining us. We really like doing this. We don't have a huge audience yet, but we'll probably put more effort into that here in the not too distant future. But until then, you guys have a great week. Join us again next week. This has been another episode of the GAJ podcast. All right, guys. You guys all be good. You guys all be safe. You guys all be nice to each other. And we will see you next time.
Defund the police, Cybertrucks.
Bye.